Make me tear up? No, I usually try to. I get assigned like the funny beats or the light beats. Yeah, yeah. I don't know if I'm.
Did that check, please? Did that make you?
That made me cry.
Yeah, weird.
Yeah.
The Christmas, the Holly Jolly Secrets now.
Oh yeah.
The sign-in Marceline story. I cry every time.
Yeah, yeah.
Was that was like not fine writing that?
Yeah. Well, Patrick McHale wrote the monologue, and then I actually boarded just based off his what was written. Yeah. So, and I was just trying to draw it like that was weird. Actually, that was the first time I'd ever drawn something that was like a serious, heavy scene, but I didn't cry.
You're strong. You're tough.
Yeah,
You're a whiny baby.
yeah. But I cry at Rebecca's episodes. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Simon and Marcy's. Oh my god. And I Remember You. Yeah, God.
Yeah, I have tons.
Which character would you like to explore the most? Magical land of your
I guess Jake? He'd be fun. Yeah, I'm trying to think. Ice King would be a mess. That would be fun.
Bubblegum would probably tell you things that you wouldn't ordinarily.
Like if she got drunk?
Yeah,
Yeah.
That might be interesting.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't want to see it.
Which character do you identify with the most?
Marceline.
Ice King, I guess.
That's why you don't want to see him drunk.
Yeah. It's like looking in a mirror.
Do you ever find yourself walking around in your daily lives and just literally calling things staff and yelling out what the stuff?
We didn't use that much. Really, after I got on season 2, and
Yeah,
we
yeah.
already really weren't writing that stuff.
Yeah. I'll say oh my glob. Like unironically. Like
What was the drive towards making Princess Bubblegum more of an active character? Like, you see her taking a lot more physical risks and being more of a hero figure, I think. I mean, she's still morally questionable in a lot of ways. But what was the drive towards making her more active for the show?
You mean like specifically in
Lady and Peebles?
episode with Ricardio? Yeah.
Yeah. Lady and Peebles?
Maybe even just the one where she goes on rescue, where she rides with Lady Rainicorn.
Yeah, that's.
Yeah.
Just them. Yeah.
Yeah, that was. I was really excited. I got to do half of that episode, and I thought it would be really nice to see her, even when she's in charge, and that's always been true. But she always has help. I thought it would be cool to strip away all of her help until she had to just physically fight. I thought that would be great. I think early on, and I'm finding that this is has been true also when I've been working, but it was always really important that the main characters be driving the story, which unfortunately had like the side effect of having her be very passive. And I think a lot of that also is just that as the seasons went on, we could explore secondary characters more. And I think that really was exciting for her and for really everyone that didn't, even Jake didn't really get to do anything until later. I remember
They're knocked out through the whole. Oh, you mean?
just in general. Like I remember when he went in Utopia when he lights the lantern.
Yeah.
And I remember being like, oh, Jake gets to do it. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
Like it always had to be Finn, and then finally it got a little more flexible later. That was really sort of technical. It was really nice that was. Well, you really know because you were writing the outline.
Well, that Lady and Peebles, we were like, okay, let's write one where it's PB and Lady, and they're having an adventure, they're kicking ass, and like, yeah, Finn and Jake are knocked unconscious like through the whole thing. But I don't know if it was like a conscious decision, more just like, oh, we're tired of writing Finn and Jake stories. Like, let's see if we can write a story without them, with some of the other characters.
Why do you think your show has the following that it does?
I have a theory.
Yeah.
Well, I really love this theory, the theory of the sublime, which is that there are beautiful images and then there are sublime images. And a sublime image, a beautiful image is frameable, something that's pleasant to look at, and a sublime image is something that implies that there's more outside of the image that you're looking at. It's unframeable. And I think Adventure Time is that because you only have access to a small look at a larger world, and you can feel that there is this larger world, and the past, is real and is this world, and it's changed, and everything between that and the show happened, and you can feel that it happened, but you don't see it, and I think that's really important, and it made it really interesting to work on, and I think it makes it really interesting to participate in, because you create a lot of it, and not that it doesn't exist, it does exist, and that's why it's so cool, that stuff that you don't see, it's really there. That's my theory.
It's a good theory.
What do you think is the craziest adventure that Jake and have ever been?
That we've seen, or
Yeah.
oh man, I don't know. I like I like the Kingworm one where they're dreaming, and that's pretty crazy because it's all in his head.
I think, yeah, it would have to be mentally, physically. They do a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Push it to the limit.
I mean, Finn's been to Mars. That's pretty crazy.
Yeah. Well, and
Jake too.
in the Lich episodes when they're going through
Oh right.
reality.
Yeah, alternate universe.
Probably that.
Yeah.
But,
We play these writers games where we all sit around a table and everyone like draw. You have 2 minutes to draw like a picture, and it's just whatever you think, and then you pass it to the next person, and they have to get it, and you have 2 minutes to write a first act. And usually it's really like you'll do it all day, and you'll get like 40 drawings with stories, and maybe you can use one of them. You know, like because it's hard with 2 minutes. You're just like, and everyone's like they end up pooping. You know, or like yeah, you don't know what else to write. And but all the drawings are amazing. Like, there'll just be a drawing of Finn and Jake, and they're making a box, but they're using pistols for hammers. Like, and the drawings are amazing. I want a book of just all the drawings from those writers' games, you know. So yeah, I like to think that those are all like stories that we haven't told yet, or that will never be told. But they're like those pictures exist. So yeah.
Did you play any other writers' games? Brainstorm?
Sometimes we'll put a lot of characters' names in the middle, and you just pull one out, and it's like you have 2 minutes. You know, you pull 2 characters out, and you have 2 minutes to write a story with those 2 characters, and yeah, like random words and stuff. But you exquisite corpse. Like sometimes we'll draw a head, and the next person draws the torso, and then when it's all drawn, you have to like figure out a character. Figure out a story around that character.
One of the things that I've seen with the show, though, is you have some characters where you can sort of pick out who's, only if you're really obsessive, who created which characters in their drawing styles. But they're all really synthesized together really successfully in the show. Do you ever like draw something where you're like, this can't fit in this world, and we need to change it in some way to make it fit with you visually?
I haven't.
like a character design.
Yeah.
That happened, like, when I first got on the show, I did a bunch of drawings with Marcelin's dad that was super wrong.
Yeah.
And then Penn was like, no. This is,
Really? It came from the next one?
yeah, and I think Adam and Penn, they sort of, it took a while to get used to it. Sure, that happens. I think they get changed before they end up on the...
Yeah. That was my chair, by the way. I didn't fart. I don't know if I saw. Sorry.
Do you recall what was the main character didn't work at first? Like, and then what made Marcy's dad work now?
It was just, the same thing happened with some skeletons. It was just there was too much detail. Not in a, the characters are really beautifully simple, and if you add a bunch of extra stuff on them, it looks wrong, and it's not, it happened too, like when Ice King's, in the Ricardio episode, Ice King had like a hole in his chest, and his body parts were everywhere, and I made it like a hole, and Penn was like, no, just make it a heart. It was like heart shaped, and then his stuff was coming out. And I was like, that's so much better. It reads, and it's cute, and it's also really horrible.
Yeah.
So that's like the nice balance that happens, I think.
You ever brainstorm on a story that you wind up going, you know, with Josh?
Yeah. Sure.
Give an example.
Of a story where we jumped the shark, and then oh man, I can get back to you. I have to look through some. Nothing off the top of my head. Trying to think. Well, I can't talk about it too because we have stories that are coming out that
you actually do.
Yeah, they're kind of like. Sometimes you come up with a story and you're like, well, that doesn't work, but it leads to something else. Like, but what if this happened? And you know, and that original idea, you're like.
Does that happen a lot?
Not a lot. Once in a while. Sorry, I'm clamming up.
What's the biggest challenge you have creating each episode?
In terms of writing or
Writing,
or
everything.
storyboarding,
Yeah,
or
storyboarding, everything.
biggest challenge. I don't know. It all seems hard. Like writing the story seems hard. You want to write the outline and make sure it's that it's all there and it's not there's not. It's hard because you want the borders, you want them to have some freedom to come up with stuff and change stuff, but you don't want to make it too specific, but you don't want to make it too loose because then they have to do a lot, all the work. But I think boarding's hard, like pitching and.
Yeah, well, just having it like come from a real place. The show I think it only works if there's something really real about it, and the thing that's real about it is not a surface value thing. It's very abstract on the surface. So like you have to find the reality in it and make that feel right, which I think is why the show is so interesting because you feel like it makes sense, but you don't really see it making sense, but it does. And even in ways like when someone picks something up, they'll still have it in their hand. It doesn't go away. Things are really happening, but also in terms of how the characters look and act and feel and think, that all has to be have its own internal logic. That's tough to find. Maybe that's not true of everyone.
Oh, thanks. Yeah.